From family cars to electric car models, the automotive industry is set to deliver some of the most exciting vehicles we've seen in years in 2024. Here are the most anticipated new cars for drivers of all tastes and preferences. Honda Prologue. While Honda may not have the most popular brand when it comes to electric cars, it does look like they are on the brink of a breakthrough with the 2024 Prologue SUV. The company has revealed what this SUV is like, and not so much info on what it can do on the drive. The only thing we can say for sure is that its platform will be mainly collaborated with General Motors, so expectations are high for this one. Design-wise, the 2024 Honda Prologue already snatches a good grade. You are getting a pretty cool compact SUV that can offer more space than smaller models without the bulk of a big-size SUV. A pretty interesting choice by the Japanese automaker. If you like a minimalist design, the Prologue makes a perfect choice. The concept model so far shows off a great blend of functionality, aesthetics, and simplicity. We cannot wait to see what comes next with about a $45,000 price tag. Canoe. The Canoe Pickup takes the utility of all pickup trucks to a whole new level with its design. So the attention it has canvassed over the last few years does not come as a surprise at all. Thanks to being an EV, the company has taken full advantage of the pickup size to offer the best space for passengers, cargo, and a ton of bells and whistles. As we draw closer to its projected 2024 availability, there is bound to be more hype in the direction of this truck, and we cannot wait to see how it performs in reality. The range on the Canoe pickup truck is set at around 400 miles, and it's also expected to put out a whopping 600 horsepower. Interestingly, the U.S. Army was also attracted by the setup of the Canoe pickup truck and has already ordered a fleet of modified versions. Moreover, companies like Walmart are interested in a cargo delivery version of the same pickup truck. More orders means the project is still alive, and we should see the final production start very, very soon. Buick Electra E5. Finally, Buick is also getting into the electric car race with the new Electra E5. Interestingly, this SUV will run on an Ultium battery platform that is designed by General Motors. It may also be similar in specs to the Cadillac Lyriq, but more a budget version. The Electra SUV is expected to have between 350 to 400 horsepower, depending on trims and feature level. The design of the new Buick EV is quite balanced. On the outside, you are getting a good mix of a traditional design and the futuristic style of an electric car. The interior, on the other hand, looks absolutely amazing and unique for the Buick brand. The style, color theme, space, multicolored ambient lighting, and a curved 30-inch infotainment display. This is bound to be a pretty cool SUV for both China and US markets. Hyundai Kona. Hyundai is now prepared to introduce the new crossover generation, which will hit American shores for the 2024 model year. There will be 4 different variants. Unsurprisingly, we are getting an EV version now. Then there is the purely combustion-powered, a hybrid, and the inline. Hyundai's designers first created the new Kona EV before incorporating the design into the other models. They all have a recognizable light bar along the edge of the hood up front. Below this strip, on the corners, are the headlights. The 2024 Hyundai Kona retains both of its 4-cylinder engines from the previous generation. A 147 horsepower 2.0-liter engine will be the base model, with a turbocharged 1.6-liter 4-cylinder engine offered as an option. The hybrid drivetrain revealed for the Kona in other regions might also be available. Audi Q6 e-tron. The Q6 e-tron is Audi's latest all-new electric SUV that is truly a performance and design masterpiece. Audi has been quite busy when it comes to electric vehicles, and it looks like they are taking the fight one step further with the new Q6 e-tron. So far, the design of the test units that have been spotted reveal its unique design language that Audi has built for this particular vehicle. Furthermore, Audi has confirmed that its Q6 e-tron will carry a massive 800-volt electrical system. It will also have 2 design variations, one regular crossover SUV shape and a sloped-back version that gives a more sporty vibe. Judging by the number attached to the name, this should be a middle ground from what the Q4 and Q8 e-tron offer. Hyundai Ioniq 5. The 2024 Ioniq 5 is supposed to be a higher voltage version of the 2023 Ioniq 5 that was already pretty good. If you want a vehicle that offers even crazier performance numbers, Hyundai is adding the extra power with its Ioniq 5 N variant. This time, drivers are getting dual electric motors that are tapped to produce around 600 horsepower. Every other thing will also be significantly upgraded as well. Larger wheels, bigger brakes, wider fenders, a more sporty nosepiece, and a larger rear diffuser. This one should be a delight to drive. It's worth mentioning that the 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 5 is getting a massive software update, which is expected to help with customer complaints made in the previous year model. Hyundai is also planning to reveal a smaller variant of this performance EV, but it is not going to be revealed until 2025. Polestar II. 2024 will be a special year for both Polestar as a company and the new upgraded Polestar II. According to the company newsletter, the Polestar II will get an increase in power, range, improved sustainability, and have a rear-wheel drive model optional. The 2024 Polestar II will be available in 4 main models: standard range single motor, long range dual motor with performance pack, long range single motor, and long range dual motor. Polestar is increasing the EV's range for 2024. You could be getting as much as 395 miles in some variants. Still, charging rates are stuck at 205 kilowatts. Unfortunately, a little slower than Tesla's supercharging speeds. Cadillac Lyriq. By far one of the most interesting luxury electric SUVs you will ever set your eyes on. The new Lyriq is making a return in 2024 with interesting changes based on customers' feedback. The major update to the Lyriq is the new trim levels. You get a base model tech trim, a mid-range luxury trim, and at the top of the class is the new Sport. The major differences between these trims are more aesthetic than functional. You may be able to go with either and still be just fine. Choreographed exterior lights, illuminated door handles, and rain-sensing wipers are the kind of features you may be missing out on if you go for the base model. Interestingly, range estimates are lower than they were in 2023. Rear-wheel drive will offer about 308 miles, while you get 1 mile less on all-wheel drive at 307 miles. Performance is to be the same with 340 horsepower on the single-motor rear-wheel drive and 500 horsepower on the dual-motor all-wheel drive variant. The 2023 model did not disappoint in performance, especially for a vehicle this size in the SUV class, and we expect more of the same from the new Lyriq. Good news is that the base level still starts at around $59,000. Genesis GV70. With everything turning electric in 2024, Genesis has decided to fully electrify its premium V6 engine, GV70 SUV, and many people will probably consider it as their next luxury electric SUV. If you already like how the gas-powered GV70 looks, then you will be happy to know that not a lot has changed in its upcoming electrified version on the exterior. If you don't, well, you may want to look at it again, because this masterpiece SUV stands out from the crowd. Also, you will be glad to know that the mechanical makeup of the electrified GV70 will offer just about the same feel as driving its gas-powered counterpart, which will make it easy for people transitioning from gas to electric. As for specs, you are getting a 77.5 kilowatt battery that should last around 250 to 350 miles of driving on a single charge. Also, with the dual-motor all-wheel drive version, you should be packing about 429 horsepower. With the 2024 Genesis GV70 electric, the luxury SUV segment is going to get even more competitive. Kia EV9. Early 2024 is when the 2024 Kia EV9 is anticipated to appear. The 2024 Kia EV9 will be built on the EV6's popularity, while being a big brother SUV with 3 rows. Interestingly, there will be 5 different trim options for the EV9, with a starting price of about $55,000. When built with max options, it should have roughly 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque. If you want the top potent version of this EV, those are not bad numbers for a 3-row family SUV. For Kia, it's crucial to have a family EV in the fleet, as the auto industry embraces electrification more and more. That will be the 2024 Kia EV9. Depending on how the interior is set up, it will most likely have seats for 6 or 7 people as a 3-row SUV. Mercedes AMG EQ SUV. Mercedes unveiled a fully electric SUV that was the more potent AMG model, giving the 5-seater up to 671 horsepower and 500 kilowatts. The two variants each have their front fascias, while the standard EQE SUV has a closed-off grille with a star motif. AMG's face has vertical accents, with a Pan-Americana grille-inspired appearance. The interiors of the two vehicles are similar, and both come with the brand's optional hyperscreen display. Mercedes will also provide 4 trim levels for the Mercedes AMG EQE SUV, from the base 350 Plus to the AMG. The rear-wheel drive 350 Plus will have a single motor producing 288 horsepower, or 214 kilowatts, and 417 pound-feet, or 565 newton-meters of torque. Mercedes will sell the 536 horsepower or 392 kilowatt EQE 500 SUV and the dual-motor EQE 350 4MATIC. Customization will allow new Mercedes EQE owners to determine price as well as how long their vehicle can go when fully charged. Fisker Repair. How would you feel if you could buy a really decent electric car from Fisker for around $30,000? Since its announcement last year, Fisker has continued to drop snippets regarding the Fisker Repair. Over 5,000 reservations that have already been made for this budget crossover, which will start at around $30,000, is proof that the teasers are working. With around 250 miles of estimated range, most future Repair owners will probably never need more than that. The anticipation and excitement are as intense as they could ever be. When Fisker Ocean became the highly anticipated Tesla Model Y alternative, we knew that the company could definitely make a smaller-sized EV for much cheaper than Ocean. At the moment, we do know that the design of Fisker Repair is pushing boundaries with its architecture, solar panel roof, and a Houdini trunk. The only hope right now is that Fisker won't raise prices due to supply chain cost spikes, and so on. If Fisker will be able to do it, then millions of new orders are destined to go to Fisker. Dodge Charger. When the next generation Charger goes on sale for the 2024 model year, it will be an entirely new car for the Dodge lineup. A 4-door model will also be added to the roster, but we will learn more about either vehicle closer to its debut. There will most likely be more trim levels for the 2024 Charger, but we only know of 3 for now. The number of engines that will power the various trims of the new Charger is still to be disclosed by Dodge. But the base 340 model is expected to produce 455 horsepower, while the mid-range 440 models are expected to produce 590 horsepower. An all-wheel drive 800-volt architecture will be used by a high-performance trim known as SRT Banshee, although the model's horsepower capacity has yet to be disclosed. We also know that the initial prototype employs a multi-speed transmission rather than the traditional EV direct drive system. Strong acceleration also gives the driver the impression of a gear shift. Acura ZDX. This is clearly Acura's major attempt to join the EV movement. However, expectations are already high for the 2024 Acura ZDX. There has been some chatter about the 2024 ZDX sharing the same platform with the Cadillac Lyriq. While that might come as a shock, it should not distract you from the bigger picture. The Cadillac Lyriq is a pretty amazing ride, and if that is anything to go by, then we may be getting the 2024 ZDX with around 500 horsepower at its most powerful stage. Acura has not yet stated what the battery capacity will be. Nevertheless, the 2024 Acura ZDX may be getting the same 102 kilowatt-hour battery from the Lyriq. So we are also looking forward to a range in the 300-mile per charge region. The 2024 ZDX is expected to retail at about $60,000 to $70,000 for its base model, and we are looking forward to how that turns out in production. Kia EV5. If you are going to buy a crossover EV SUV, then you may want to wait a little bit for the all-new Kia EV5. This one is bound to be a delight. If Kia's recent press releases are anything to go by, then we can expect great things from the EV5. So far, major specs and numbers are kept a secret, but the overall design direction has Kia fans on a high. It draws most of its inspiration from the earlier announced EV9, and we have to say that this is very well done. From the amazing design on the outside to a very unusual design on the inside as well. The rear hinge doors swing open to reveal a very spacious cabin with seats that turn in different directions. Considering that this is still a concept design and not the final production unit of the vehicle, we do expect a few things to be toned down. But you have to give Kia credit for being so aggressive with EV options you can buy from them. Vinfest VF7. The VF7 is Vinfest's response to the Toyota BZ4X, which suggests that it may end up being a possible best fan favorite of Vinfest's electric SUVs. The VF7 should appeal to a wide range of electric SUV buyers because it is compact enough for confined urban environments, but substantially large enough to compete on the open road. Vinfast will be offered in Eco and Plus versions, just like the smaller VF6. 349 horsepower and 368 pound-feet of torque are anticipated to be produced by the more potent dual-motor all-wheel drive Plus variant. Regarding the front drive, single-motor VF7 Eco, expect the same 201 horsepower and 228 pound-feet of torque, but hopefully something more optimized to offer a little more punch. Details about battery pack capacity and EV system charging are not yet available. The VF7 will be marketed as an upscale electric crossover with options including premium vegan leather upholstery trim and a panoramic sunroof. A front LED light bar with animated effects and rear trademark LED lights are among its exterior features. Each VF7 will also be equipped with various active driver assistance systems. Volkswagen ID Buzz. While there are tons of big and small EVs on the market, the one department that seems to be getting the least attention is the large families that would like to quit gas. On that note, Volkswagen has decided to fill the gap with the 2024 Volkswagen ID Buzz. Grabbing inspiration from the older Type 2 microbus, this offers a nostalgic, vintage vibe on the outside, while hosting massive space on the inside with free-for-all seating in 3 rows. This fully electric van will come in both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive options. The brand is currently aiming to get the 2024 ID Buzz to as high as 260 miles of range. The base-level single-motor rear-wheel drive ID Buzz will produce about 201 horsepower. As for the higher dual-motor trim with all-wheel drive, you should get as high as 295 horsepower. As long as Volkswagen can pull these numbers off, this would be an amazing accomplishment for a vehicle of this size. GMC Sierra EV. Here is an all-new electric GMC truck that boasts pretty cool numbers in every category. The Sierra EV will be released in a single Most Premium Denali Edition 1 trim. It will be powered by a dual-motor all-wheel drive setup that produces 754 horsepower. GMC confirmed that its Sierra EV will last for a total of 400 miles from a full charge, and its maximum towing capacity is set at 9,500 pounds. Combine these with the stunning exterior and luxury premium interior on the inside, and you'll be paying around $100,000 for the 2024 GMC Sierra EV. Is it worth it? You can decide on it when it comes out very soon. Chrysler Airflow. Chrysler may not be the most consistent car brand in the world, but they are trying to switch up this narrative with an all-new entry. The Airflow EV concept was already revealed, but what we have right now looks like the vehicle that is closer to the production model. The Airflow will have the option of dual motors fitted on the front and rear wheels. Each of these motors will have about 201 horsepower. This already sounds exciting, and I look forward to seeing how Chrysler optimizes the drive to get the best out of these powerful electric motors. The brand has already mentioned that this SUV is getting a 118 kilowatt-hour battery pack that gets you around 400 miles of range, which is a pretty good number and also in the range of some of the longest-lasting EVs already on the market. There are a ton of futuristic features to the interior features of this Airflow, and if they are able to get anywhere close to this concept model, we have got an almost sci-fi looking EV on our hands. Chevrolet Silverado EV. A worthy addition to Chevrolet's new electrified lineup is Silverado EV. A midgate design option allows users to fold the partition between the bed and the cab for added storage space. A big battery pack is believed to have a range of up to 400 miles on a single charge, and a battery with a range of 100 miles may be charged in just 10 minutes using DC fast charging technology. The 2024 Chevrolet Silverado EV can tow up to 10,000 pounds and handle loads weighing up to 1,300 pounds thanks to dual electric motors that produce up to 664 horsepower and provide standard all-wheel drive. The Silverado EV will only have 2 electric motors compared to the GMC Hummer EV's 3 electric motors. The configuration should still deliver strong acceleration performance, as Chevrolet claims that the top-spec RST has at least 664 horsepower, while the base WT model manages with 510. Both all-wheel drive and 4-wheel steering are standard. Customers who choose the RST model will discover that their vehicle has adjustable air suspension. Nevertheless, a pair of enormous, stylish 24-inch wheels are optional. Locking differentials, substantial all-terrain tires, and other adventure-ready components will be added to the Silverado EV's suspension in the Trail Boss Edition. The maximum towing capacity of the Silverado EV at launch will be 10,000 pounds for the RST variant and 8,000 pounds for the WT. According to Chevrolet, a variant with a 20,000-pound towing capacity may soon be added to the list later on. Cadillac Celestial. For many years, Cadillac has struggled to compete with European luxury brands. Still, it has persevered, as seen by the release of its new electric flagship, the new 2024 Celestial luxury sedan. Although this stunning vehicle resembles the new Lyriq EV SUV in terms of family resemblance, it stands out thanks to its slender lines, sweeping roof, and bustling rear end. The designers at Cadillac claim to have combined historical design cues with cutting-edge technologies that forecast the future course of the American luxury brand. The interior decor is equally dramatic as the exterior, and the cabin dazzles with vividly colored leather, a 55-inch digital dashboard, and bucket seats designed in the Hermes style. A small group of artisans will hand-build each Celestial as the line assembles them. According to the EPA, the Ultium battery pack that powers the Celestial is big enough to provide around 300 miles of driving range per charge. According to Cadillac, the 200 kilowatt connection will give the battery a range of 78 miles in just 10 minutes. Mercedes-Benz EQG. The Mercedes-Benz G-Class developed a reputation as an all-terrain vehicle over several decades before becoming a six-figure prestige symbol for celebrities. Now that gas-powered vehicles are becoming less popular, the G-Class is giving birth to the all-electric EQG. The EQG maintains the traditional G-Class boxy design, and Mercedes claims it will continue to be a capable all-terrain vehicle. One electric motor is anticipated to be installed in each wheel of the 2024 Mercedes EQG, and the battery pack will be integrated within a sturdy, vintage ladder frame. 4 individually controllable electric motors, one near each wheel, are expected to power the EQG, enhancing both on- and off-road driving capability. If the design is any indication, the EQG will also include a 2-speed gearbox that can be switched between for off-roading. Like the gas-powered G-Wagon, the EQG will have a stiff rear axle and a sophisticated independent front suspension that should improve on-road handling. This vehicle is already hard to find, so imagine trying to get your hands on an electric EQG now. Hyundai Ioniq 7. The 2024 Hyundai Ioniq 7, an all-electric SUV resembling the 3-row Hyundai Palisade, is the new electric car Hyundai plans to use as a trigger for deep market penetration. This vehicle will have a seating capacity of 7 or 8. The Hyundai Ioniq 7 model is one of the 3 new electric vehicles the company has already committed to releasing in the following years. There is no official word on the vehicle's release, although 3 trim levels might be anticipated. Because the company is concentrating on producing a vehicle that has a driving range of 300 miles minimum, it is anticipated that this vehicle will feature a huge usable capacity battery, and a 350 kilowatt fast charger will be included. Pretty decent performance, but for a much cheaper price. Ram 1500 REV. After getting rumored and teased for nearly a year, we finally know what Ram's incoming EV truck will look like on the US roads. While the newly revealed production version of the Ram 1500 REV is not as imposing as its initial concept reveals, it still comes with the futuristic aesthetic that seems to be customary with EVs. For Ram drivers who would not want to go too far from what they are already used to, the good news is that it still looks like a good old Ram truck, just electric. The promised 500 miles of range will make the Ram EV truck the longest range pickup truck with a battery. One downside here is that a toned-down design also means that a lot of the features that came with the outlandish concept design may also be getting ripped. Ram is keeping most of the important information regarding the 1500 REV as exclusive as possible, and it may remain that way for a couple more weeks or months. All I can confirm right now is that the design still gets a trunk in the front, similar to its rival electric pickup trucks. Porsche Macan EV. Porsche's 2024 electrification initiatives are getting even more aggressive after the launch of the Macan EV. Before the new crossover makes its official appearance, Porsche will make the performance rear axle available with the Macan EV, depending on the model when it goes on sale. The 2-valve shock absorbers for the Porsche Active suspension management system are one of the new features of the Macan EV. They are available with still or air suspensions, independently adjustable, and will provide better damper characteristics. The front and rear tires will have different widths. To enable the rear-biased weight distribution, and wheel sizes will go up to 22 inches. The new data aids in giving the Macan EV a complete picture. In its most powerful configuration, the crossover will have up to 603 horsepower and more than 738 pound-feet of torque. In addition, it will have the technology, features, and suspension needed to harness all this power.